Jelly beans. Who's selling jelly beans in here? That's a weird way to start this. Hang on, I need to. I'm getting set up. Hang on. I was supposed to be done with work hours ago. Like so many hours ago, it would have been like 24 hours ago. But it's not. So I finished like very shortly ago. Hello! Hi! How's it going? Hi, hello. We've had a bit of an exciting day today, I see. Alright, let's see. I'm just gonna make sure everything's working correctly here. Alright, cool, I think we're good. A couple of these first. Alright, cool, hi. Guys, if you hear anything that's funny, or if the volume isn't right, or something like that, you know, please let me know. I'm always experimenting.
How about we go for a nice meal sometime? My treat, of course.
Yeah, okay. I'm always experimenting with different setups, so it's always different. Every time's a little bit different. Today we're on the floor. I'm usually on a desk, but today we're on the floor because I'm sick of my desk. I've been there all day. No more desk. No more desk. All right. Is it quiet? Okay. Is it me that's quiet, or is it the game that's quiet? Oh my god, I think it froze. Or not, or it's just being weird. Okay. I'll never understand why the party setup menu is the one that gives me the most trouble. Really? Now you want to crunch on a bone? Right now? Okay. Yeah, this thing froze. Okay. Okay, hang on. Let me adjust a couple of things, see if that's helpful. I actually have something, oh, hang on. This is the first time I'm streaming since Genshin updated, and I've had some interesting issues with the update. There it goes. Or maybe I just lost my net. Hang on. Are we back? Okay, sorry. I think I lost my internet, but I think it's back. Wow, this is a great start. Hello again. Hello again. I turned the volume up a little bit. Let me know if you can't hear that. I had the in-game volume turned way down, so that might be part of why the audio sounds low. We'll put that up so you guys can hear it. And we're also I'm gonna go down to here because that'll help. It doesn't help my computer so much, but it helps streaming because like the less pixels that are changing on the screen, the better. And I already struggle because I have really poor upload speed, so yeah. Anyway, enough of that. I'm sick of technical stuff. If anything's seriously wrong, please ping me. Yeah. I've had some weird issues with the update. Like, I actually really like the update because in some ways it feels snappier. Like, I feel like new areas load faster. I definitely am able to pick up things faster. But at the same time, it's super, super, super weird because the game takes forever to load when I boot it up. So I feel like they've changed, like, the loading priorities or something for a lot of the assets. So yeah. Anyway, we had a very exciting morning. It was a trailer that I was expecting some of the stuff on it, I guess, but not most of it. I think it was funny because I went into this expecting, you know, to get really excited about seeing Itto, and maybe he was going to be on the stream or anything like that. And then, you know, a couple minutes in, and all of a sudden we're in Albedo land. And boy, did he steal the show. He stole the show so fast. I was pretty excited about that. I've kind of like spent today on and off just analyzing, I don't know, just the trailer more than anything else.
What's the hurry?
Like Albedo's whole thing. I'm gonna hang on. I'm gonna change a couple of things so that I'm getting distracted by like my own game, and I shouldn't be because this is supposed to be something that's just going on in the background. I don't really want to deal with this right now. Hang on. I'm gonna change dial. Do these count as SFX?
Paimon coming in. Is this level okay? Can you hear Paimon?
Oh my god, that's really cute. I've never done that. That's adorable. It's really cute. Can you hear Paimon okay? Yeah, we can hear Paimon just fine. Yeah, so, okay. Theories on Albedo is suddenly going cryo. And yeah, he's going cryo and not like blue Geo, which could have also been a possibility. Oh, wait. And we know that because Bennett was in that scene, and Bennett was like, hey, I'm just gonna melt this, which is also kind of weird. I kind of want to know why Bennett's there, and why he's in Dragonspine with no clothes on. I mean, he's wearing clothes, but not like winter clothes, like you would go up to a mountain on. I don't know, that's always a pet peeve of mine in video games when it's like winter, or you're in like a frozen wasteland, and you've got somebody in shorts and a tank top, and it's like, yup. And they're complaining about being cold, it's like, yup, okay. That makes sense. Love that. Yeah, he shoots crystals now, exactly. This is basically like the only setup I can really make Toma work in that doesn't include Hu Tao, which I feel like is so sad. Yeah, so like a couple weird things. I don't know if you guys noticed. I've been kind of freaking out about it on Twitter for most of today. But I also know that most of you don't follow me on Twitter, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's just that you wouldn't have seen it. And if you have seen it, I'm sorry, I'm going to reiterate this. Big thing that we noticed first off, a friend of mine noticed it first, and then we started looking into it more in depth and realized that Albedo is using one hand to summon Geo, and he'll use his other hand to summon Cryo, which is kind of weird. We're still debating whether his eye colors are different from scene to scene. But on the whole, like, he's swapping hands. Even when he lands, like, you know how, like this. When a character jumps off and then they... Oops. I have the, the glider on, like autopilot here. If I jump and then I land, right? Kaya does this like weird superhero land, right? So if he jumps, he needs to jump from like more of a height. Or he'll roll. Yep, okay. We'll just go this way, I guess. Yeah, because I'm totally good with the camera. I am so good at the camera. Look at this, watch. Hi, Levi. No, it's not playtime, but you can come here and sit. Please don't breathe into the mic. Sit. Sit down. Sit down. Thank you. Good boy. There's a good fluff. We're going to do a puppy special for 50,000 subscribers. And that's sooner than we think it is. So that'll be nice. You'll get another video on the channel, huh? It'll be your turn. So anyway, I thought for a minute, you know, Albedo was just going to be like, oh, well, I'm going to summon Cryo with one hand and Geo with the other. And it was just going to be like one of those things, you know, kind of like a dual wielding sort of thing. But the more I was looking at it, the more I realized that just like, you know, Kaya was jumping and he would land and he would put like, I think it was his right hand down. I think Albedo typically puts his right hand down when he jumps and then lands. But then when Cryo Albedo jumped and landed, he was using his other hand to steady himself, which I thought was really weird. because it means that they've basically reflected Albedo, right? Like they've completely swapped him around. So he's almost inverted, I guess, an inverted Albedo. That sounds really weird though, because whenever I think of like an inverted person, I think about their organs and bones on the outside, and that's kind of weird. Because it kind of makes them into a bug, you know, like with an exoskeleton. I don't like that. It's just bad mental imagery. This is really weird. I will say I don't think he's in any danger of dying, because this is an event. And while I do think they are very prone to dropping things like lore and maybe some really fun character development and stuff like that in events, I don't think they do anything to the point of like killing off an entire character that's not an NPC. So I don't think Albedo's technically in any danger. Get up.
Don't get too close. Dodge this.
I wondered if I could get that just from like doing nothing. That's fun. Oh, hey, Kazuyal, thank you for your super chat. Oh, it's an emoji. Hey, they're showing up this time. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. That is a cute little thing. Is that a lemon head? Oh, hey, I want to do this. That is a lemon head. I really want a lemon head. I like lemon heads. They're completely underrated types of candy. That was probably really unnecessary. There's like a dude over here. Oh, hi. Yeah, okay. It's okay, we don't really kill them, they just warp away. Yay. Doggy boy, can you see the eyes? I've tried looking at his eyes. You can see them, but not very well. And I can't really tell if anything's different. Like, they look a little bit bluer, but I can't tell if they look bluer because of the lighting or because they're trying to make them look bluer. So, bleh. I know, but I'm super, super, super excited. One thing that was really kind of funny to me was that, like, you know how his whole, whatchamacallit, his little workshop there in Dragonspine was, like, completely ransacked, which is one of those things where I'm like, Albedo, put a door on your workshop, please. Like, because anyone can just walk in here. It doesn't have to have a lock on it, but, like, you know, put a door in your workshop, please. Random hilly chill or boar is just gonna come along and do that.
Check this out.
Like that. Yeah. But you know, like someone came along and ransacked his place, right? And the first thing he says is, "Oh my god, my notes are missing." And, you know, his alchemy table is knocked over, and like not just his notes are missing, but the entire board that the notes are on is missing. So this morning I was like, you know, the only thing I can really think of is that like someone came in, was like, oh my god, I need these notes. These are my notes now. These are exactly what I'm looking for. Forbidden knowledge, yes. And then they ripped the notes off the board and they were just like, oh man, someone's coming. What do? I gotta make a quick getaway. Wait, I know, I'm gonna snowboard. And they grab the bulletin board, pop the legs off, and just like ride it all the way down Dragonspine. And that's how we got shield surfing in Genshin. I really want that to be a thing. Like, I really, 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 really want that to be a thing. Shield surfing. Come on, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be really cool. Like, how cool would it be to have a gadget? Right? Like my little weird seed box over here. Hi, Levi. And then, like, you could just jump. And then you would glide on it for, like, a period of time. But on the ground. So not like a wind glider, but, like, on the ground. You have to admit that'd be super, super cool. I'd love to do that. I want a snowboard gadget. That's all I can think of is like the thief making a really, you know, I want to call it special getaway on a bulletin board. I mean, yeah, I guess who would break into some place that's Dragonspine, but like, it's free real estate. Forbidden knowledge. Someone's gonna pay money for that, right? Treasure hoarders are a thing. Yeah?
Follow the wind.
Yeah. Key, the attack he does is very similar to Signora's. Do you think that has anything to do with it? No, because his attack is also really similar to the cryohypostasis and to the cryoregisfind.
Time to go.
So I don't necessarily know that it has anything to do with Signora. Signora actually has something that's really unique about hers, and that's that. Hello, camera. She doesn't have like the straight icicle spikes, like the diamondy shaped ones. She has like twisted, spirally, hollow ones, and those are unique to her. I haven't seen those anywhere else. Albedo's look a lot more like the what do you call them? The cryohypostasis. Like, you know when it does that thing where it like goes up in the air and then it makes like these rings and then it shoots out like a ton of spikes like 3 times from the rings? Like that. The thing that's weird about the cryo is it's not just like an element shift, right? Like, Albedo is really high in the air. He's like 20 feet in the air. And if you look, if you pause that video at the right point, he's like spread eagle in the sky. It's weird. It's super weird. And he's also smiling at us, which I think is weird. Like, really weird. Anytime Albedo grins at us, it's a time to be a little worried. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. You know, this fog right here creeps me out because you can only see it at this time of night, and it reminds me of the fog on Surumi Island. But it also kind of looks like one of those toxic gas fogs that you'd run into in most other games. But I know it's atmospheric, but it's just like, I don't know, this fog right here always bothers me. Weird things bother me, okay? It's fine. It's totally fine. Totally fine. No one needs to know.
What's wrong? Can't handle the cold?
I can totally handle the cold. I'm from the Great White North. That's what we do up here. We just chill in the cold for like 9 months out of the year. I have the fluffiest, warmest dog, like, cuddle up right now. See, streaming from the floor is the best place to stream because that's when dogs can come up and be like, yeah, I'm gonna give you support. And also make it so that you can't move or else you'll feel really guilty because you woke me up. Oboro86, who made your profile image? I did. I guess most of you probably won't know this. It's not something I really broadcast. I actually got my start in internet lands as a comic artist like forever ago. I was not just drawing and writing comics, but I was publishing them. That was my other job. I was to put together webcomics for publication, so I would do like the book setups and stuff like that. And do the print runs and that kind of thing. I used to do a lot of typesetting and sound effects and that kind of stuff. So that was my very first internet job out of college. So if you see graphics done on my channel, I did them. Most likely. That includes avatars and little fun things like that. I just don't do it very often because it takes time and
Adventure time.
I don't usually have a whole lot of time. Also, it means I have to break out my Cintiq, which is like something I don't like to do because it takes up a lot of space. And that also means cleaning my desk to make space. And I don't want to clean my desk because that means that I have to admit my desk is a mess. And no one wants to admit that. No one wants to see my comics, trust me. They're old and I hate to say that they make me cringe, but like I have that artist thing where like you look at old stuff. Oh, I don't have enough stamina for this. Where you look at old art stuff and like you can't keep looking at it because it's just feels that bad. It's not like it's bad, it just I know I can do better, but I just don't have the time to actually work on it. And the comic I was working on is something I actually want to turn into a game, and I was in the process of it, and then I had life stuff happen, and so that got put on pause. So I do have game dev related stuff to it hanging around here somewhere. But you know, we're gonna go down to Inazuma now, because I have some places over here where I want to get some stuff. Yeah. Do you think Albedo's in control, or do you think he's being controlled? You know, I'm actually wondering if Durin is just trying to come out and play. Like, we've been kind of teased for a long time that Albedo and Durin are kind of like the same entity, but at different stages. So Durin was kind of stage 1, and when he died, I think the assumption from the general community is that his remains, or at least pieces of him, were, how do we say nicely, recycled into Albedo. And I think Albedo knows this, which is why he chills on Dragonspine specifically, and I think part of what he's doing is trying to learn more about himself and where he came from. So I'm wondering if he's going to reawaken Durin's consciousness to, like, a small degree. That would be interesting to me to see. Panini, any updates on the Hilichurls and eye things? The masks with one red eye on their fences and towers seem to be kind of important. I'm not quite sure what you're asking about with updates. I don't quite know what the question is. Sorry. Can you rephrase that? Oh my god, Toma, please cooperate with me. This is what I do when I'm trying to play and, like, not look at the screen at the same time. Oh, if you're new to streams, or new to streams, if you're new to my streams, let's preface with that. There's 2 things you should know. 1, I have 1 monitor and chat is not on it, so I'm not all that great at remembering to look at chat. Look at that guy. He's just stuck behind the wall. Love that. That's funny. Hi. Is that everybody? Are you all? Oh, no, there's still more of you. Hello. Nope, they're dead too. Okay. I'm cool with that.
Time to go.
Just give me all the things, please. My ping just shot through the roof. That's always fun. I don't know how people play this game on, like, 300 ping constantly. That's nutty. I have mad respect for people like that. I really do. Also, I have sympathy for them because internet pains from rural living just kind of comes with the territory, I guess. I had really nice internet all of last week, which is a really rare thing, but that was because I wasn't here. I was not here. I was not at home. Oh, hi! Music God, thanks for your super chat. What if I throw a whole bunch of money at you? Will you make something then? Also liking the stream so far. Thank you! I'm assuming that you wrote this when we were talking about comics or games. I need to turn this off, but I get so few requests that I just don't. I'll just let it time out. Well, I make stuff. I mean, sometimes I do make things. It's not really about money, though. It's just about time. You know, and time is something that's really difficult for me to get because, I hate to say, like, adulthood, but adulthood. Like, between work and errands and taking care of my house and just trying to, like, keep my house a sense of livable, meaning, like, you know, actually doing things like laundry and that kind of stuff. And also having time to do YouTube stuff. There's just no more hours in the day to do anything. and sometimes I just don't have the energy to be productive 24 hours of the day. So it's really not about money. I have a situation in my life where I'm actually pretty comfortable in terms of my setup. I have a really nice job with really good flexible hours and all of that kind of stuff. So, and I also have no intention of becoming a full-time YouTuber, so I don't have to prep or think about those kinds of financial challenges. So it's not really about money for me. So I guess the answer to that is that no. If people just threw a bunch of money at me, I wouldn't just create things. I think what I'm gonna do, I think what I'm planning on doing, this is not your question, but this is how I'm gonna answer it. I think what I'm actually gonna do is, if Genshin plays out the way I think it will, and it runs for like another 3 to 4 years. If it runs for another 3 to 4 years, I'll probably make theories throughout those 3 to 4 years, and then I think I'll probably retire straight up from YouTube. And by retire straight up from YouTube, I guess that what I mean is I won't be making like regular theory content. I mean, we'll see. I mean, obviously 3 years is a way out, but what I'd like to do at that point is actually sit down and properly get a dev team together and make the game that I want to make. So I think that the timing for that will be good, because going through Genshin and doing a lot of this world building exercise and all the research and watching the game evolve from start to finish is really, really beneficial. And I'm kind of making like a case study out of it that I plan to work with later in life. So yeah. So far, them's the plans. We're changing teams again because I want Zhongli. For no reason other than we're gonna go farming for ore. And I don't really feel like using Kazuha to do it, so we're gonna do this. Okay, so I'm like super behind on chat. I'm gonna try and scroll back up to the super chat and then start from there, and take a look at some questions here. Because I think most of the questions are going to be about the 2.3 live stream, so I'm just going to let you guys kind of drive the conversation, if that's okay. Pixie Wanna Dixie. I like your name. With the 2.3 trailer release, will you make a full-on theory about what would possibly happen with Albedo? I'd love to hear your full thoughts on it. I kind of announced that, but also not really, not directly. I'm going to do a Hex and Circle theory, which I know sounds like it has nothing to do with Albedo, but I kind of think it does. So the answer is both yes and no. Whether or not I'm actually going to do like a straight up Albedo theory, I don't know yet. We'll see. If I do a straight up Albedo theory, I'm going to do it after the event, because I have a couple other theories I want to get through first, and I want to do,
but where are those who share?
I want to do the Hex and Circle one first, and I feel like that'll tie in. Hang on. The one downside to cuddling with dogs is that I walked them in the woods today, even though it was pouring rain, and I figured we'd be fine with no tick repellent, and we were not fine with no tick repellent, and there is a tick, so I have to kill it. Hang on 1 second.
Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth, and those that come across Lior tend to
Okay, it's
stay.
dead. I'm back.
So it is where many things come to settle.
I'm back. And we are tick-free. Right? Right, little fluffy dude? Are you tick-free? You're not tick-free. That's why you're my buggy. Because you're full of bugs. But we love him anyway. And not just because he's cute. Also because he's very warm. We like warm things. Okay, so I actually... Can I go on a tangent? I want to go on a tangent because you guys are going to think this is really funny. It's also a little bit gross. But on the subject of killing things, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you will not have seen this story. But effectively, before I went on my business trip last week, which is where I was, I had just left the house to go walk the dogs. and I was walking towards my shed, and I noticed that it was full of shattered glass, and that something had completely shattered the window of my shed. And I was very confused, so I start picking up glass, and I look down, and on the ground is a dead partridge. So I texted my grandpa, and I'm like, Grandpa, what is this? And he's like, oh, I think it's a partridge. And I'm like, a partridge? My dad used to hunt partridges. So I texted my dad. I'm like, Dad, what do I do with a dead partridge? And he's like, why do you have a dead partridge? And I'm like, well, it ran into my window. And he's like, oh, it must have gotten drunk on all of the fermenting apples, because that's apparently a thing this time of year, is that the apples fall to the ground, and then they ferment, and then the birds eat them and get kind of drunk. And they fly into things. This one just so happened to fly into a window and die. That was a thing, but that's not where the story ends. See, because I was cleaning up the glass, waiting for Dad to text me back, and I hear this grunting from outside, because I'm inside the shed cleaning up the glass on the floor, and I look outside, and Levi has dug a hole next to the bird, and completely buried the bird. He didn't touch the bird, he didn't bite it, he didn't do anything to it except just put a lot of dirt on it. So I had to dig up the bird, and when I did that, my dad texted me back and he said, oh, well, whenever you have a dead partridge, you should just eat it. It hasn't been dead that long, right? And I'm like, well, maybe 12 hours. What do you mean eat it? He's like, yeah, you just kind of spread the wings, step on them, put it on its back, and pull the legs. And I was like, what happens then? He's like, the breaths pop out. And that was a lie because the legs came off instead. But anyway, long story short, I will spare you the gory details, but I had partridge for dinner that night, and it was very interesting, very sweet, and it's probably because it ate a lot of apples, and that's my story, and that's what happens when you live in the countryside. How many people can say that they texted their dad and said, hey, I have the dead animal, and your dad's just like, eat it, and you're like, okay, and then you do. Me, that's who. To be fair, if I knew it had been dead for less than 12 hours, so, but, yeah. That's my story. That's my story. To be fair, I also saved the feathers. So the feathers are gonna go to my mom, who's gonna do a bunch of, crafty stuff with it, I guess. And then I composted the rest of him, so that got all, yeah. Waste not, want not, right? Where am I? Where am I going? Oh, right, I'm going this way, okay. I know where I'm going. I'm paying attention. Totally paying attention. Anyway, sorry. Z, what are your thoughts on the new weapon, Cinnabar Spindle? I have been thinking about it a bit too much. Curious to know what you're thinking about it. The interesting thing is that it's called a spindle. And if any of you have ever watched Disney's Sleeping Beauty, you probably know what a spindle is. A spindle goes on a loom, and there is one really high. Hello.
It's not.
We're just gonna sit here and wail on this thing until... Yep. Oh, you know what? I don't actually have to do that, because we can just kind of... Oh, nope. There he goes. Okay, so spindle goes on a loom. In Genshin, there is one really interesting loom, and just one loom, and that is the Loom of Fate, and it's part of a prophecy where Dainsleif is basically saying that if we do everything that we should be doing, then the threads of fate will be ours to reweave, and he specifically says the Loom of Fate. So when we look at a sword that's called a spindle, it starts to, start looking a little bit suspicious, you know? Because Aether and Lumine are both sword characters, right? And you give them a spindle and tell them they're gonna reweave fate, and it's kind of like, sus. Also, Kaya has these lines about, you know, this thing where a sword fell from the sky and it was this really magical holy sword and all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, Kaya, what do you know? Why aren't you telling us things? Anyway. Timothy, do you think there will be any chance that Dottore is involved with the Albedo stuff? I don't think so. I don't think we're seeing any Dottore until we get to Sumeru. I really don't. I don't think so. I think, if anything, the only harbinger that we're more likely to see is going to be Scaramouche, and the only reason I say that is because he's kind of the only one that's, like, really super sus, also on the run, and has been seen in Mondstadt. That's not dead. And, we're just gonna sit here and wail on him, I guess. Abyss mages are so annoying. Come on. Just fall over, please. Go away. Okay, that's fine. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought. I don't know where it went. Oh, right. Yeah, okay, so I know that sounds kind of like wishful thinking, because, like, hey, Scaramouche is my solution to everything, but the reality of it is just, like, he's such a wild card that, like, I have no idea what's going on with him. And, it just seems like something, if Albedo's not really totally human and Scaramouche isn't really totally human, that there's kind of, like, a suspect, you know, something that could happen there. But honestly, I think what's more likely is that, I don't know, Sucrose went a little nuts in his lab or something. And then broke the bulletin board and, you know, was like, oh my god, I broke the bulletin board. I have to fix this before Master Albedo sees. And then he saw. And that's why she's not in the trailer. I don't know. It seems like it might be more likely. It might not even be anything that sinister, and I don't think it has anything to do with the Fatui. But, anywho. Oh, hey! Tadas Boykovas. Oh my god, I'm butchering the crap out of that. I'm so sorry. Tadas? Please tell me how to say your name. I'm trying. But thank you for your super chat. I really appreciate it. Just like how you probably do not appreciate me butchering your name. What do you think about Genshin's story being a meta commentary on its own community? I do not really know what that means. A meta commentary on its own community. I might need more information than that. I don't really know what that means. What does that mean? That's so cryptic. Which part? Which part? Yeah, which part, man? At me in the chat, and I'll at me in the chat with some, like, a further direction that you want to go with that, because I don't quite understand. I don't quite understand that one. Okay. And of course, my chat has skipped all the way down to the bottom, so now I'm up to date, but I've also probably skipped some people. If I have, I'm sorry. Spinal Prison. Hey there, it's my first time catching one of your streams, and I'm so happy. Well, thanks. I'm happy, too. I'm happy because I finished my work today. Why are you happy? Because you're here with me? That's not a very good thing to be happy about. There's, like, very low standards. Raise your standards, please. I mean, I guess chilling on a Friday night, watching something that's, like, somewhat interactive is kind of cool, I guess. I guess that's fine. Change your standards, though. My streams aren't that great. I just run around breaking things and not fighting enemies. And waiting for Shangli's shield to regen, because if I try to break this with Ningguang, I'm gonna hit those things instead, and it annoys me. Yay. Yeah, I'm just gonna run now. Bye. Timothy, if Enkonomiya is put in the game in the near future, is it possible that Scaramouche would be hiding there? I don't think so. Honestly, I think we've got a better chance of seeing Scaramouche with Itto. That's just what I think. Enkonomiya is kind of weird. I don't think we're gonna go there for, like, at least 2 more patches. The reason being is because we're going to go back to Dragonspine for 2.3. And then for 2.4... When's 2.4? 2.4 is January, February, right? Oh. Oh dear, what hit me? Oh, nothing hit me. This thing just wants to play. Okay. We can play. That's alright. I'm fine with that. No. Oh. I was too close to his pillar. Aw, come on. That's not cool. Yep. Yep. Oh, goodness. Okay. Meta means something like focusing on big numbers. I don't think that's what he meant when he said meta on like a commentary on their own thing. I think they mean like meta as in like fourth wall breaking kind of thing. But you know, using the term meta is super, super, super weird now because Facebook is now meta and it's so uncomfortable. Like on so many levels. What a stupid name. What a stupid logo. It looks like a ball sack. I'm not even saying that, like, for, you know, shock value. It just literally looks like a ball sack. Anyway. Key, what do you think about Senora using the cryo delusion without covering her eye? Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that she's not in her real body? I mean, yeah, we've got Senora's mask, you know. It's around here somewhere. No, wait, some of my key items. Which one is key items? This one? Oh, it's right here. This one. Yeah, look, we've got her mask. It says down here on the bottom-ish. No, not the bottom-ish. There we go. It's actually right at the top. It says right here, the Fatui often face the world from behind their masks, and it is said that this is because all they were mean nothing once they become the Fatui, and thus they must forsake their true names and faces alike. So likely that's more or less all there is to Senora's mask. That and maybe she just doesn't have an eye. Because, you know, she was kind of burned and melting and losing her body at a time. So, yeah. I don't know. I want to read this question, but I'm also being chased. You. I don't know if I really like this kit for her. Is he dead? Oh, he's dead. Oh, I wasted my shield. Okay, well, I'll just wait for it to come back. Anyway, Kaden, what is Albedo is the one... Oh, what if Albedo is the one who unconsciously trashed his office and that's why Eula was like, what are you doing, Albedo? That would be funny. It's like one of those episodes of like, I got really drunk and I trashed my whole apartment and who the hell actually broke into my apartment and trashed it? Oh wait, it was me. That would be one way to make a, you know, an event that's like lore heavy with lots of mystery and then be like, oh hey, yeah, it actually never happened. I don't know how I'd feel about that, actually. I think that would make me kind of mad. Although if it is Durin that's inside of him that wakes up and be like, hey, I'm gonna rampage this office because I want to play. That'd be kind of funny. Maybe he just ate the notes. Notes? What notes? I just saw a snack.
There's no end to this.
Slimebo, have any passing interest in Star Rail? Doesn't have to be for the sake of the YouTube content. I did, and then I watched the beta, and now I kind of don't. I'll tell you why. I think that turn-based combat is really, really difficult to do well in a gacha format. And to make it, like, scale well over time. I think it's really, 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 really difficult to do that. Like, I think you'll find that, like, a lot of the gacha games that are successful over time tend to be the ones that are, like, how to say, either ones like this, where they're a little bit more tactical button masher kind of things, or they're ones that are like strategic based, card based, you know. Technically Magic the Gathering is a gacha game. It's just like a real one with real physical cards. It's like that's a thing. But you look at things like Arknights and where I came from, which was Fire Emblem Heroes, and those are all games that are very strategic focused. Those games tend to scale okay when it comes to gacha-based content. I am not confident in that game being actually fun to play. The story looks interesting. I think the graphics are cool.
Stabilize.
I like the concept of it, but I am not in love with that combat system, like, on any level. It's not even an interesting turn-based combat system, and I'm like, how would you even make that remotely interesting over time? Like, under what circumstances would I ever want to wail for anything in that kind of game? Like, those are the kinds of things I'm looking for in that kind of gacha game, and for that reason, I don't really have any interest in Star Rail. I'm gonna follow it for the duration of its betas, because I'm very interested to see how they change it based on player feedback, but I have played so many turn-based RPGs that my standards are incredibly high, especially for one that I'm going to invest more than, like, 35 hours in. Music God, thank you for your super chat and for telling Albedo to go home because he's drunk. Honestly, Koi Dao made the English stream. I loved him in there. My favorite part of the entire stream was like when he saw Gorou's little dude in his burst and he was like, I want to be its friend. I will be his friend. Because it was so ominous and it was so good. And then Spicy Puppy Snake. I like the Puppy Snake. I don't know. I just thought he was funny. That's what I picture actual drunk Albedo to be like if ever we were graced with such a thing. That's what that would be like. Anyway, that's my thoughts on Star Rail. I come from a Shin Megami Tensei background. Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem, and so I play a lot of those kind of games, like a lot of them. And I will say that press turn battle systems I think are probably my favorite. I think those are the most interesting because you can kind of control the turn order a little bit, and it lets you have more flexibility and gives you more abilities to make combat interesting. However, I do not like just straight up Final Fantasy-esque combat systems. I think they are horrible, and they should not be made in the year of 2021. But that's my opinion. I know some people really like them, but I couldn't play them for more than like 20 to 30 hours at a time. And by the end of it, I'm quite ready to be done. You know? So, yeah. Eldon, thank you for your super chat. Are you sure you didn't want to say anything? I mean, I appreciate it. Usually you can at least send a little emoji and be like, "Hey, I was here." I mean, you don't have to. It's just a privilege that you get when you super chat, and it always makes me sad when people don't take advantage of it. Well, that's okay. Anyway, I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for that. Red the Mudkip, do you still play Fire Emblem Heroes? No, I quit outright because I was irritated, and I'm glad I quit because immediately after I quit, they released cavalry units that can move 4 spaces, and I was like, nope, fuck that, I'm out of here. I am not doing that. So not doing that, especially when you can stack it with friggin' the new, whatever the chick's name were, the giant chicks that gave you the Pathfinder skills, make you go 5 spaces. That's like 80% of an entire map. That's ridiculous. I'm not fighting that thing. Screw that. Favorite units in that game were Brave Dimitri, Legendary Ike, and OG Soren. I made that kid work. Soren's probably one of my favorite characters of all time, like, period, though, so he'll always be my favorite unit even if he sucks, and he did kind of suck because he was a 3-star. You know, But we make it work. We make it work. There is nothing over here. Why do... Oh, I know why I have a thing over here. It's because it's over here. It's down here in this really uncomfortable place to get ore. It's like, away. I missed. I only really have enough energy to handle, like, one gacha game at a time. So, that's why I quit outright. Also, it was just infuriating, and I was really hating ether raids. And it was my favorite mode, so when I started to hate it, it was kind of like, there's no point in playing anymore.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's...
Emmanuel Marin, do you think people are just overreacting? The Albedo thing is more likely just one big misunderstanding, and yet people have overblown it. I'm not quite sure what you're referring to. If you're referring to the fact that Koi said that he just finished his last recording session, yes, I think they're overreacting about that. But overreacting about, like, oh my god, cryo Albedo? I don't think so. I think people are just really excited. I'm also kind of in the camp of, oh my god, I missed. I'm also in the camp of, I think, having all these characters introducing, like, a secondary element that they're associated with is actually really cool and lays a lot of groundwork for the possibility of upgrading characters later. And being able to pull for, like, their cryo form or their pyro form or things like that, which I think is really cool. So we first saw it with Kazuha. We've seen it with, we didn't first see it with Kazuha. We first saw it with Child. And then we saw it with Senora and Kazuha. And we'll likely see it with Scaramouche whenever we run into him again. And we're going to see it with Albedo. Technically, we have seen it with Albedo. So I think that thing's kind of cool. I think that's really neat. I'm actually really excited about that. So, yeah. What you gonna do? What you gonna do about it? Nothing. Can't do anything. Hyun, how do you do your research for Genshin theories? I want to try researching lore myself. You find something that you're interested in, you go to Wikipedia, you read about it, and then if there's one thing on that page that stands out to you, you click it and you follow that rabbit hole until you're on a completely unrelated subject. That is generally how it goes. I know that sounds kind of sarcastic. It's not. That is actually how I do things. I can give an example here in a second when I don't have magpie brain. Yeah, see, I'm still not, like, the biggest fan of this build for her. Just go away. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, Eldon, you're back! You don't have to do another super chat. You can just at me, but thank you. What do you think is the world of the loading screen? Is the door to Tevat the entrance to one of the many static universes we have had to play through? That's my next theory video. The next theory video we're doing, world structure theory, which I'm hoping to make some really great progress on this weekend. Because I want to get it done. I wanted it out this week, but then work kicked my ass. So I want it out early next week. But one of the things I'm going to be doing in that video is completely debunking, like, 2 of my older theories on domains specifically. And I think I do know where that cloud structure is, but that is going to take a really long time to explain. I think you're going to be really excited about it, though. And I think it's going to be one of the first explanations of where that is beyond someone just saying, hey, it's Celestia. Because no, it's not just Celestia. Or at least I don't think so. I shouldn't say, like, no, it's not Celestia, because that's kind of conceited of me to say that. It's very dismissive of other people's views, and that's not really how we want to do things here. But yeah, no, seriously, stay tuned. You're going to be really excited. Valis Dans, thank you for your super chat. It's going well. That is a cute little Shiba. That is a cute little thing. Man, you guys have the best stickers.
Even if an
I
answer
want your
is
stickers.
priceless,
Can I steal your
the
stickers?
happiness it brings lasts for only the moment that you obtain it.
Yeah, okay, so we were talking about how to write a theory, or how to research for a theory. I was gonna give an example. Okay. So, here's one thing that I think a lot of people don't really think about when it comes to Genshin and, like, the lore possibilities, and that's roses. Okay? I'm not gonna make a theory about roses for, like, a long time. So I don't mind using this as an example, because it's gonna be a long time before I ever get to it. Here's the thing. Let's go take a look at a couple characters. Alright. Somewhere back here. Okay. So there are, like, 4 characters in this game that actually use roses, on their person. And that's Noelle, Lisa, Rosaria, and shoot, I think there's one more, but Senora. Which is interesting. Now, Lisa is called the Witch of the Purple Rose, but you'll notice she has a gold rose on her hip. She's got a purple rose on her hat. We've got books that are covered in roses. There are blue roses all over the library in Mondstadt. And then you'll notice that Lisa takes these items, Valberries, in order to do her ascension. I don't think these are berries, because these actually look exactly like rose hips, which is a type of wild rose, which is really exciting. So you start looking at things like that, you're just like, man, like, why are there so many rose motifs? Like, if I look at, Noelle's constellation, it's a rose on a shield. If I look at Rosaria's constellation, it's a rose on a crown. If I look at Lisa's constellation, there's a rose in an hourglass, Like, that's all really weird. So I think, well, what's the main theme of the game? And that kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, alchemy is the main theme of the game. That's kind of like where we're working with. And I start looking up, I'll just type into Google, like, roses and alchemy. And you start finding some really interesting things. And that leads you down to another rabbit hole, and you start taking notes. And then you realize, hey, there's actually a lot of interesting stuff here. And yeah, that's how that works. At least for me. That's how that works for me. And that is something I have done. I have gone down that particular rabbit hole. There is interesting stuff there that you can learn. So just know that whenever you see a rose in Genshin, there is a big secret that's hiding behind it. Because, spoiler alert, that's what roses and alchemy mean. They mean secrets. No, literally, they mean, like, forbidden knowledge and secrets. Anywho. But now we have to figure out, like, why, right? Like, that's the challenging part, is figuring out why. It's fun stuff, though. Fun stuff.
Don't waste my time.
It's so weird. I feel like I have her burst up so much more often now, and I don't know if that's actually true, or if I'm just managing my energy a little better. Huh. I'm not sure. If you're wondering why I keep, like, stopping to pause to look at Ning's damage, it's because, I went on the weapon banner, because I was, like, 20 away from Soft Pity, and then I ended up with this. And she was running Solar Pearl, so when I got this, I had to swap around a ton of her artifacts, and so I'm trying to, like, see how I feel about her damage after doing it. So that's why I keep pausing. I'm sorry if it's distracting. Hey, Zoze! Zozy? Zoze. Zaz. I don't know. I'm sorry. Thank you for your super chat. Oh, I'm gonna get hit by lightning. Has anyone done a theory on what Sucrose's species is, or was that just an accident in the lab? I don't think anyone's done a theory on it. What I can tell you about Sucrose is that she's not a catsline. Catsline? I think it's called a catsline. Whatever Diona is. She's not a catsline, and if you look at the bottom of her shoes, which I think is going to be difficult to do unless I pull her out, and I don't really want to, you can actually see the pads of her feet. And basically, oh, well, I guess I can do it with, think we can see it on Diona easy. So maybe I'll just, like, quickly. Yeah, you can see it on Diona a little bit. Okay, maybe you can't. Oh, there we go. Oh, when she stretched. Okay. Well, you can see on the bottom of every character that has animal traits, they have a paw print on the bottom of their shoe. And the paw prints that are on the bottom of Diona's shoes are cat paw prints. But on Sucrose, I don't know if we'll actually be able to see them without, like, running and trying to take a screen cap. Yeah, well, you can't really see them from here. Oh, no! Oh, for a second. Not long enough. Anyway, the bottom of her shoes, she actually has doggy paw prints. So she is most likely whatever species Gorou is. That's my guess right now. Which also kind of explains the bone that she just put back in her pocket. Anyway. That's my current theory on her anyway. That's all I got. That's all I got for her. I don't know if that helps. I don't think it was an accident in the lab. I haven't seen anything to support it, but I haven't seen anything to refute it either, so totally a possibility.
If you should choose to pick any, be sure to
Oh, Tadas, thank you, you're back. Okay, best example would be Inazuma. Okay, wait, before we continue. Tadas asked about the meta commentary, about Genshin being a meta commentary on its community at large. And this is the clarification post. So he says, okay, best example would be Inazuma. A lot of players have wanted something of permanence for a long time, and then Inazuma came permanence versus transience, telling us it's okay even if things come and go. That's actually really cool. I haven't thought about that in that way before. I think that's probably a little bit more, I don't want to say on the nose or coincidental, but I think it's probably a little bit more to that end than just being a meta commentary. But I think more so than a meta commentary, that sounds a little bit more like how do you word this? You okay there, buddy? Did you sneeze? You sneezing? Gosh. Sorry. Dog distractions. I think it's more about learning a lesson, right? Like when you think about growing up and thinking about things that don't last forever, or that you think you'll be young forever, or that you think you'll have the situation that you're in forever, or all that kind of stuff, and then you realize, hey, nothing actually lasts forever, and we need to respect things that aren't permanent, because those matter too. I think it might be more like that, more like morals or lessons. And the reason I think it's more like that is because Ether is, and Lumine for that matter, the Traveler in general, are going on a journey to learn things. And it's like, well, what are they learning? And I think that that's the kind of stuff that they are learning. They're learning kind of like what it means to be human, you know, like life is fleeting. Wisdom is something that you can always pursue, but maybe you can never truly obtain when we get to Sumeru, right? Like, maybe war is necessary, but it's not good. You know, or maybe it's necessary for certain types of progress. Who knows? By the time we get to Natlan, that might be a lesson we have to learn through. When we get to Fontaine, we might be learning a bit more about, like, what does justice really mean to us? And when we were in Mondstadt, we were asked a question, although not that deeply, what freedom means for us. Right? Like, what actually is freedom? And I think that might be the meta commentary you're talking about. And if that's a meta commentary, then yeah, 100% definitely think Genshin is one of those types of games where it's a little bit more philosophical if you're willing to look at it in that way. However, if you're asking if it's a meta commentary on, like, players and what players want in games and that kind of stuff, I don't think that will probably apply as much. Not saying it can't apply, but I don't think it would apply that much. That would feel a little bit too on the nose, and I feel like if it ever came to light that that's what was actually happening, it would be really, really, really insulting, and I'm not sure that would go over that well. But then again, MiHoYo doesn't really seem to care about those sorts of things, so who knows? But that's my thoughts on that. Hey, come back here. You are my leg warmer. Where are you going? Man, Where's my other one? Finny! Don't you want to cuddle? Don't you want to cuddle? She doesn't want to cuddle. Okay. I got it. I see how it is. My dogs don't love me. He stares at me from across the room. Okay. Anyway. Kaylee, any plans for an Oni video after Arataki? Oh man, I don't know. We'll see. I'm really, I'm pulling for Itto. I made a decision. I think some of you might have seen my Primo count earlier. But I spent a little bit more than I wanted for Toma. Because basically Hu Tao was in my very first tenfold. So I was like, well, I guess I'll spend a little for Toma. And I was 100% going to pull for Albedo because I really wanted him when he first came out, but I couldn't afford to get him because I was free to play saving for Xiao. And I had no idea when Xiao was going to show up, but I wanted to make sure I could guarantee him. So I had to skip him. So I really want Albedo this time. So I'm pulling for him.
Stabilize.
And when Itto finally got his voice reveal and stuff, I'm like, yep, that's my one missing trope that I don't have in my roster. And we definitely need him in the roster. So we're pulling for him. And depending on how his lore goes, I will probably be making an Oni video. Most likely. Most likely. I can't really foresee a situation where I wouldn't. Right now, we don't really know a whole lot about Itto beyond his, you know, his feuding with Sarah and his childish pranks on the kids. And his contest with Yoimiya, we know a little bit about that. We don't really know anything about his history. He calls himself, like, the Oni King. I don't know if that means he's, like, actually royalty, or if he just thinks that he's so strong that people should call him king. I could see it going both ways, but I do want to learn more about him, and we already know quite a bit about Chio, who's the only other Oni I think we know something about. So there is quite a bit to go on. I think, well, I was gonna say we'd probably get to Yakshas before we get to Onis, but that might not be true, because I have the feeling that we're gonna get more Yaksha lore when we get to the Chasm, and I think we're gonna get to the Chasm around 2.5. So if we get to the Chasm around 2.5, then I'll probably end up doing an Oni video before a Yaksha video, which is actually kind of funny, given how long the Yakshas have been out. But I really think they're a Sumeru thing, so yeah. So I'll do that. I will probably do that. Hang on, I'm catching up and I almost killed Zhongli. Probably not. That wasn't that tall. Oh, wow. I am so behind again. I'm sorry. I am long-winded. I get behind so easily. Cub Queen. There's also that Eula says stuff about they really care about my heritage, and Toma says stuff about people exposing their flaws, but that's likely just a coincidence. In response to the meta thing, yeah, probably. I mean, ultimately, they're trying to make characters relatable, right? Like, we have to make characters relatable in order for people to want to pull for them. Hi. Jum! Big burst go boom. Oh, do you want to go outside? Levi, it's raining. You don't want to go outside, do you? Really? Okay. Hang on 1 second. I have to tend to my little four-legged. I'm gonna let Chi-Chi keep you company. Say hi, Chi-Chi. Say hi. I'm coming. I'm coming. Puppies have to go outside. I get it. I get it. I get it. Are you coming too? Yeah? Okay. Go on then. They're going to want to come in like 5 minutes. You watch. They're like cats, but bigger and therefore with the ability to climb on top of you and push you over if you don't let them outside. They're big, okay? Jelukas, what region do you think we know the least about? Ooh, Natlin. Natlin, 100%. We know right now that they have, man, what do we even know about Natlin? We know they have, boxing matches, like fighting rings. And we know that they have hot springs. And that the god of war lives there. And that's all we know. That's all we know. Comparatively to, like, Fontaine, even, we know a lot about Fontaine. Just because we know quite a bit about Oceanids, because we had the event with, with this guy, Endora. I wanted to say Enki. It's not his name, Endora. When we had that event with Endora, we learned a bit about the Loch folk, and then by, association, we learned a bit about the Hydro Archon and stuff, so we know a bit more about Fontaine than we do about Natlin. So my answer is Natlin. I'm gonna hit the crystal. Whee! I actually need to go beetle hunting. I don't have quite enough beetles yet. Yeah. Thunder TC, in my opinion, the volume in your streams are still very low. You can turn the volume up on your computer then, because I can't really do anything else. Like, I'm at the point where I would literally blow out my mic if I turned up the volume anymore, so I can't help you there. I mean, I can balance the audio, but I can't increase it at this point, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't have that capacity. As that's the limits. I'm stretching the limits. Gimme. I'm not trying for that one. Oh, there's nothing here. It's empty. It's a lie. Okay, fine. We'll go to a different island. I got that one. Did I get the beetles over here, though? I don't know that I got the beetles over here. We'll go get the beetles over here. I need some beetles. I need the beetles. Spinal Prison, I have a very, very important question. Will Dainsleif be playable in the future? It's for research.
Where do you want to
You
go
don't
next?
say.
If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots.
Well, I'll tell you this much. One day I'll do something with that Sealy. I just don't know how he's supposed to work. Either that or I have a glitched thing. Okay, so in the Travail trailer, they specifically said that every character that appears in Travail will be playable. Now, Dainsleif appears in Travail, which should mean that he should be playable. Oh, I guess I got these ones and they haven't respawned yet. So he should be playable, but will he is a completely different question. Because who knows, it might not apply to him because he's the narrator for everything. But then again, that doesn't usually mean all that much in Genshin land, so... For all we know, like, Dainsleif could become playable and then suddenly he's not narrating all the things anymore. Alice is, right? Or Alice could become playable and she's still narrating things because she's fourth wall breaking. Oh, I missed him. That's okay. I don't care about him enough to go chasing. Yeah, so, we'll see. I think he's a long ways off, though. If that's the question. I mean, I think we'll get, like, character upgrades to second elements before we even see Dainsleif as a playable character. Boom. That was fun. No, don't fly away. I want bugs. Oh, I missed that one. Can I have bugs? Nope. We're gonna be on a horrible bug catching spree today. Yep, there we go. I don't even think I caught the crystal fly. I think I caught a beetle. That's okay, I need those. We need the both of them. Yes. We need both of them. Now we go in here. Because there's beetles in here. Scrolling down, it just says, let the dogs be wet. It's like, yep, they'll let them be wet. It's their choice. They don't mind. They're already wet. It was pouring rain when we went for a walk. Okay, it wasn't raining when we started, but it was definitely raining midway, and, yeah, we got soaked. Can you not climb walls? What is with this compulsion? It's not healthy. I wish I had these gecko abilities. I want to be a gecko. You know? Like, just jump towards a wall and just stick to it. That'd be so cool. Suction cup hands. I want that. And who doesn't want that? I really want to be a gecko. But like a human gecko. I can choose when and where they have the little silicone suction cups. Hey, a crystal chunk. Stick to things. I wanna like be in a hotel corridor and like jump on the ceiling and just stick there and wait for someone to go by and then go and see what they do. It just sounds fun. Anyway, Music God, thank you for your super chat. I appreciate that. Is that your third one tonight? Jeez. I'm flattered. And also still very distracted. I'm gonna fall off the cliff and just hang on. Okay, now I'm good. I'm happy. Are there any characters so far you're tired of getting pulls on or regret having raised? You can include weapons because mine is the bell. Regret having raised. Not really. Because I'm someone who hyper invests in characters. In every game that I play, I find my favorite one and I feed them everything. I guess if there's one character that I regret pumping a whole lot into, it's Xinyan. Because I did pump something into her. And then it turns out she wasn't all that great. But I did it right like when she first came out. I got a copy of her really, really, really early. But honestly, like, everyone here is totally fine. I mean, even my Amber works fine. You know? Even though she has, like, nothing for talents. I have this Lisa that's actually working out okay. I really hate Noelle. Not as a character, but just, like, as a unit. I guess this one. Noelle is probably the one I regret the most. Yeah, Noelle. Just because she's the one that's the furthest along for this. I mean, I'm still kind of leveling these things so I can get the blue fates. I'll do that when I, you know, have extra stuff and whatever, but mostly that. As for weapons, not really. What do I regret raising here? I don't think I have any. I mean, I guess I'd say these I regret, but like I don't really regret them because they got me through early game. I am raising this for a reason. I guess Favonius Greatsword would be the one that I regret out of weapons just because I never use it. It just sits on Razor because it's there. Everything else has a use. But, I don't know, most of the characters that I have are ones I want. I don't have a whole lot of 5 stars. I have a Hu Tao, but I don't really regret investing in her because she's a fine budget option, and if I ever need a pyro carry of that type, I guess I have her. So, you know, it's fine. Yeah. Xinyan and, Favonius Greatsword, I guess. Yeah. I don't know, I just feel like if I'm gonna make mistakes, I may as well commit to my mistakes. Yeah. I have more things I just regret spending resin on, I guess, than things I regret raising outright. Like, even with Traveler, I think I raised Animo Traveler, but I don't really regret that either because I really, really like Animo Traveler, and I didn't have enough Animo characters for, like, the longest time to do anything with. And he got me through so many rounds of the Spiral Abyss where we had that one floor where you had to defend. I'm just gonna sit down and pick up some cabbage. We had to defend the little tower thingy, the little, the ley line, monolith, that thing, yeah. His tornado, if you have it ready there, is really useful, because you just, if you aim it correctly, it can just get rid of everybody. And move them all away from the monolith, so I don't regret that either. Unless damage isn't that bad. Animo Traveler is still my favorite. I know that's a hot take. Everyone's just like, Geo Traveler is the best. I like Animo Traveler. But I guess most people don't like Animo Traveler because they have Sucrose. And I have Sucrose too, and she's fine. But, I mean, I also just like Animo Traveler. You know. Yeah. Hey, Break Fate's Chain! Thank you for the super chat. What is that avatar? I can't tell if it's someone wearing a skull on their face or if just the skull person has a really long neck. It's so tiny. Very unlikely, but given that she's in the Travail trailer, she's my favorite character, do you think Paimon could be playable and what element she'd have? Oh, that's a good question. What if we're already playing as Paimon? What if we're not the Traveler? What if we're Paimon? Did you ever think about that? What if we're already playing Paimon and the Traveler is just like someone that Paimon summoned? I think she'd be a physical element, honestly. I think she'd be like a totally neutral element. I don't think she'd like be Electro or Animo or anything like that. I think she'd be straight up fizz damage. But fizz damage that has like a weird shred to it. So that, you know, yeah. That's what I think. But if we do get more elements, that would open up some more possibilities. I'm just not... I'm so hot and cold on us getting more elements. Like, I feel like if we're gonna get elements, we're gonna get, like, 5 more. But we also might not get any more elements after Dendro. I think whether or not we get more elements will depend on how Dendro goes. Hey, there he is. Missed him. Come here, you little stinker. I wants the buggies. Me likes the buggies. Woo! Hi. No. No. I don't want to. I'm going away now. Bye. We'll go over here. Time isn't an element. You can say that she's a time Archon all you want, but it's still not an element. What are you gonna do with time? Like, if you have a bunch of characters, right, that are all time characters, what are they all gonna do? They're all gonna speed up or slow down time? That's so boring. They gotta do something. How do things react with time? How could it... The whole entity timeout thing annoys me. Like, just leave it there. Why do you have it time out, MiHoYo? It's so odd. How many beetles do I have now? Do I have enough? Do I have enough beetles? It's not this one, is it? It's this one. 171. Hey, I have enough. I don't need any more. I don't need any more. I do need some more pearls, though. I got all the bugs. I got all the bugs. Well, I guess we're gonna head to, Watatsumi. Yeah? Yeah? Huh? I'm gonna head to Watatsumi. Go chill in Jellyfish Lane. Watatsumi Island reminds me of Candyland. Like a Candyland board, you know? I don't know why. Maybe it's the colors. I feel like cotton candy just, like, makes me want to eat, like, Starburst. Super weird. See, I don't think they do time plus geo equals erosion because erosion's already a thing in the game. And that's kind of why I'm looking at it like, I don't know if time can be an element. I'm also wondering if, like, the time Archon might end up being the twins. Oh, I already got these. I guess I can't do that then. Well. Alright, new plan. We're just gonna run around Tsurumi Island. Hey, listen, I know you guys are like on God of Salt and God of Dust and everything, but have you ever considered that Zhongli's not actually a god of rock? He might actually be a god of metal. I just realized that makes him sound like a rock star.
I don't do rock music, I do metal.
No, he might actually be a metal Archon. I was thinking about that the other day. I have reasoning. I mean, there's a method to the madness. Shao and Gun, you're coming in our shared... No, it's not a shared banner. Okay, so I don't know if any of you are a little confused about the new banner system. I was reading through the patch notes, and I had to read it a few times to make sure I understood it correctly, but, it's not a shared banner. It's not like the weapon banner. It's a second character limited banner, right? So effectively what we're gonna have is 2 limited character banners running at the same time. And even though they have different focuses, they're going to have the same pity count. So whatever you spend on one banner will also apply to the other one. But they are separate banners, so there's no dual focuses. I just want to be clear on that because I don't want anyone to have, you know, some false expectations. It's not like the weapon banner. We're not having that again. Weapon banner is the real gotcha. And yeah. Red the Mudkip, thank you for your super chat. Welcome. Love your vids, and oh, hang on, hands off the thing. Okay, gotta click the thing. Okay, I'm not that fast. Also, I'm not left-handed. Love your vids, and I found it charming when you used Yanfei as your narrator. Seems like you haven't been doing that as often lately. Any reason why? Yeah, people kept saying that I was kinning Yanfei, and I don't kin Yanfei. It's just that most people think I sound like her, and so I thought it'd be funny to do a video where, you know, I kind of just use her as my mascot, but people keep saying, like, it's a kin thing. And kinning is such a weird thing to me, because, like, I don't think I am a character. That's a little weird, you know? But I don't think there's anything wrong with relating to a character. I just didn't really like the vibe that it was, spreading, so I haven't been doing that lately. Yeah. I really want to use Venti as a narrator, for a video or two. I think I will bring back Yanfei for the world structure theory, though, because if I remember correctly, she was the one who was, narrating, part 1 with the radiation theory, so. I will probably bring her back for that. But yeah, that's why. I just, like, I didn't really want to get involved with kin culture. Because it's something I don't want to it's something I don't understand, and so I don't really want to get involved with it too much. Because I feel like that might be really irresponsible of me. And I don't really like the vibe that I was getting from it. So that's the long of the short of it. I think I've done everything here. I wanted to see if there were any more furniture, I wanted to see if there were any more furniture chests around, but I don't think there will be. And they don't show up on the radar, I don't think. Do they? Do those chests show up on the radar? I want to find out. I don't think they do. Well, they might, though. Maybe I should get the compass out. Should we get the compass out? Shall we go look at the compass? Shiny purple compass, which is all over here, and it's not over here where it should be, and it bothers me. You should be with the rest of the compasses like a normal compass. Okay. It found a chest for us. That was fast. I'm gonna guess it's down here. Ish. Maybe it's below the ground. It said it was this way. I thought I got all the chests. Hot damn. Well. Oh, it's this way. Watch it be like a super obvious chest somewhere. I'm just killing time because this thing takes forever to go off cooldown once you find a chest. That's funny. I don't see anything. How very strange. It's this way. What is going on? Is it behind this tree? What? What? Well, all right then.
There's quality here.
Just commenting. Hey, we could find some furniture chests. There's one. Okay. Well, we're gonna wander around and do some radar then. Oh, goodness. Asuto, would you ever do a theory on the negative effects of all the Archons losing their gnosis on the respective regions and the possibility of the Harbingers finding a way to use them? I am doing that theory. It's the next video. I know I keep saying that, but like the reason why the world structure theory video is taking me so long is because it encompasses so many things and it requires answering a lot of questions. Like, for example, what is a gnosis? Right? Like, we do not have that question answered in game. So if I want to make a prediction about a gnosis and how it relates to the world structure and like how the world works, which I feel like I should because, you know, like the world of Tevat is built around gods. So you would assume that since these gods have these terraforming abilities, that they have something to do with how the world is actually built or functions, right? Which means that we have to look at gnosis, and gnosises are the gods' hearts, and like, you know, that's like its whole a theory on its own. Except it's not, it's part of the world structure theory. Well, it could kind of be a theory video on its own, but I don't. I'll probably not go that into depth with it. I think it's gonna be head spinning enough to think of it in the way that I'm gonna present it. So yeah. Oh, trust me, everyone's waiting on world structure theory because I've been talking about it for forever. Because I can never finish it. But I'm actually glad it's taken me this long to do it because I've changed my opinion on a lot of things. And one of the things I was really struggling with and the reason why it was taking so long was not just because there were so many questions that needed to be answered, but because I couldn't decide on the actual structure that I thought was the case. And even now, I'm actually torn between two. But I'm leaning towards one over the other, so that's the one I'm gonna do. It's kind of unfortunate because it debunks two of my other theories, and that's never fun to like disprove your own theory. Completely unprovoked by anything that happened in game, which is basically what's gonna happen. Am I actually hitting the other one? I don't think I'm hitting the other one. No, I'm not. He's too far away. I'm back here. Can you? Oh, come on. Really? Go away. learned recently that I should probably be playing Xiao with Geo Traveler. Because apparently his burst with the collision walls will allow even the Magu Kenki to stay within the walls, which means that he can't teleport out of Xiao's plunge. And I didn't know that. I didn't crit either of those, seriously? Okay. Sure. That's fine. That's fine. I learned something recently about the Gnosis that I learned completely on accident because I was really bored when walking in the woods, and I was like, I'm gonna listen to something on YouTube. So I went and I picked like the first thing that was in my feed, and it happened to be a video from Crash Course on like apocalypses. And that's, hey look, we found another chest. It's over here somewhere. And that seriously random video. What? Where? What chest? What is it talking about? I don't see any chest. Anyway, that really random video threw me down a rabbit hole that kind of solved a lot of questions that I had about the direction that MiHoYo was taking. So that was really random, but also incredibly cool. Yep. So there's that. If any of you want like a preview, you can go find a Crash Course video. Oh, it's in there. It's like in the thing. Okay, I see. Hey, Sora Hoki! Hockey? Sora Hockey. Maybe. I'm gonna guess. Thank you for your super chat. What does this say? What does this say? Oh, doggies want to come in. When Genshin is finally on the Switch, is the rest of this question actually going to matter? Because it's never gonna be on the Switch. Let's be real. They're never gonna do it. It's been so long. It's been 500 years. I'm just kidding. I still have a holdout for the Switch. I would love to play Genshin on my Switch. Who do you think their first exclusive character is going to be, and what element would they be? I think it'll be Dendro, and I think it'll be Link. Seriously, I do. I think we'll have a Dendro Link. Because I think it'd be cool. Either be a Dendro Link or a Pyro Link, and he'd throw bombs like Klee. And that would make him a lot like Aloy, which would be kind of funny. That's what I'm thinking so far. Oh, wait, what am I'm like, what am I doing? And then I ran in the complete opposite direction that I wanted to go because of the chest. Hi, chest. Yay. I got 2 whole Primo gems. 2 whole Primo gems. What? 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 Okay. Okay. We got 2 chests. That's cool. What is this one? Oh, Yoimiya and Toma. Oh, cool. Okay, cool. I have Toma, but I don't have Yoimiya. Well. Okay, maybe it's just more wishful thinking that it'll be Link, but I just can't foresee them trying to get Mario in here, and I can't imagine who else they'd put in here. What's Nintendo's other, like, big series that would have a human-esque character? Like, it's basically Zelda, right? And I feel like that'd be so on the nose because people keep calling this, like, Breath of the Waifu. In terms of Breath of the Wild, right? And I just think that'd be funny. Oops. I don't have my radar on. So I think that would be hilarious. But also kind of wishful thinking because I'm a massive Zelda fan. So, I mean... You know. I can have my wishes. Doesn't mean I'll get a 5-star, though. Doesn't even mean I'll get a 4-star. Do you know how many summons I had to throw for Toma? Jesus. That guy did not want to come home. And I was not risking a second Hu Tao at that point. I was like, you know what? I'm sorry, Toma, but you're pretty terrible. As much as I like you as a character, you're pretty terrible. And I wrote that on my survey. And they are cowards. They know he's not good because you know why I know that he's not good? Because they did not ask about him on the survey. They only ask when they're confident. And they didn't ask a damn thing about Toma or anything else character related on that banner or on that survey. And I'm like, you cowards. You're gonna get an essay anyway. And so I wrote an essay. Partially because I don't really like this idea of like really super niche supports. I kind of get why they're doing it, but like I feel like they shouldn't be that niche. They can be niche, but not like so niche that they literally only have one character that they're best in slot for. Like that's just stupid. Even Gorou looks like he can be good for more than just Itto, you know? And if they are going to support one character, can you at least make sure it's, like, lore relevant? Like, why can't he support Ayaka? Like, really? He can't even support Ayato at this point. He's good for Hu Tao, that's it. I can kind of run him in a Kaya Melt team in a way that doesn't hurt me, but it also doesn't help me either, and I get more benefit out of running Xingqiu, which is just sad. The only thing I really like about running Toma in that team is that I get Pyro Resonance, and now Kaya's attacks do like 5,000 damage on his normals without needing, you know, Chongyun to convert to cryo damage. And that part I like, but like I could also replace that with any Pyro unit. I could replace it with Xinyan, and shockingly, I'd get more damage out of it. You know, like that kind of thing bothers me. On a fundamental level. I'm not okay with his, like, the state of him. So, there's that. Anyway, I don't care if Ayaka's not very good with Melt. Like, he should be able to support her, you know? He should be good with Melt. Like, he should be able to run an Elemental Mastery build and, like, melt her cryo hits or something. I don't know. Anything. Anything. Make him good for Ayato. I don't know. He's supposed to be Hydro-ish, right? Maybe? That would make sense. I actually think just everyone thinks he's supposed to be Hydro. Because, like, all the fan art is, like, Hydro. But, I've heard people say he could be a sword or a polearm. Based on, like, things that are in-game. Like, some people say, I remember one character in the tea house saying that, like, he's really talented with a polearm. But then other people are saying he's, like, predominantly a claymore. And I don't know. He's just a big question mark at this point. Like, Itto is kind of a no-brainer. Like, that guy's gonna be a claymore. He can't be anything else. Like, what else is he gonna be? A catalyst? He's gonna yeet books at people? That ain't happening. You know what I mean? Ayato's like a wild card. Anyway, just this little mini rant. Like, he should support someone from Inazuma. It makes, or Mondstadt even, but it makes no sense for him to support Hu Tao. It's just ridiculous. I'm just over it. But hang on, dogs need to come in. They're going to be all wet and they're going to shake all over me. I'm gonna get a free shower. Well, hello. Welcome. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hello. That is my spot. That's cold. No. That's my spot. My seat all wet. Why? Oh, you're such a brat. Yes, you're cute, but you're still a brat. You're cute, but you're still a brat. You're still a good girl. Yes, you're a very good girl. I'm back. I have my back warmer now. I have a back warmer named Levi. It's a very nice back warmer. Okay, I'm caught up, kind of. Mao. In Gnosticism, the snake that tricks Adam and Eve is, in truth, a messenger of the true God. If Genshin is inspired by it, what if the Abyss is the true God? I have not heard that interpretation of, that myth.
Solidify. Order guide you.
Here's the thing about Gnosticism. Gnosticism wasn't like its own thing. That's kind of the problem when we talk about Gnosticism, like in general, is that it's really just anything was Gnostic was basically just anything that didn't necessarily make it into the Bible as like canon. So technically things like Apocryphas are also considered Gnostic texts, but it wasn't like they were all the same Gnosticism. Because Gnostic was basically like anything that was like a slightly alternative view, you know? So like, it's complicated. So there might be a branch of Gnosticism where that is true, but that's not one that I've seen. Yeah. I think that's all I have to say on that one. I feel like I should fight the Rifthounds. Shall we fight the Rifthounds? Oh, I think they're gonna fight us instead.
Stabilize.
No, we do this for Shred. Come back, Mr. Doggies. You can't corrode me, I corrode myself. Because I'm the badass. Except I can't aim for shit. I feel like I missed half of those and then the other half didn't crit, which is kind of ridiculous. Seriously. Am I just crazy? Like, did half of those just not crit? Huh. Or maybe they warp out of the way. I don't know. Come back here. The thing I don't like about Rifthounds is I can never see where they're going. Half of it's ping too, I guess. Huh. See, I don't think that critted. It's so odd. Huh. Weird. Weird. Now I want to find some more. Xiao, do you have wrong gear on? No. You are not critting 70% of the time, that's for sure. That's definitely not happening. Well, now he is. Oh, that's okay. I'm just using you as a heal bot, so...
Sacred name, fortune preserver.
Dunno. I feel like my damage isn't where it should be, but that's okay. Hey! JC Pichoots 91. JC Pitchits? JC Pitchits. I'm trying. I'm sorry. I can't read. I like reading though. Thank you so much for your super chat. Sorry, I got distracted. Super late on making this comment, but pour one out for Faye. I stopped playing 2 so long ago, but I still log in for Caden and Keaton alts. Do you really? Man, you've got more patience than I do. Do they actually have any alts? Because I thought Caden's last alt was like the New Year's one, and that was like before I quit. I think. Because I quit right with the Small Fallens. The Small Fallen Leon and Small Fallens. The Small Sacred Stones characters. So, like, the small Eric and Ephraim and the small Leon. Or Leon? Leon, I guess it is. I guess it's technically Leon. I don't log in at all, and I know I'll never have to log in because there's never going to be another Soren alt, ever. Because for some reason, IS hates him. Even when they do give him an alt, they make it suck. So, I have no incentives. But yeah, pour one out for Faye. I really enjoyed Faye. It was a pretty integral part of my gaming life for, like, almost 4 years.
Life goes on.
Okay, we're gonna try this again, because this should not happen where we can't kill Rifthounds through one burst rotation. Oh. That's a Metachural. You are not a Rifthound, but you are dead. Okay, that's better. Okay, so I was just playing really badly and not hitting them. That's cool. That's better than, you know, having something, like, actually just suck. In terms of, like, damage or having the wrong gear on or anything like that. Just like, hey, you play bad. Yeah, that's fine. You can always fix that, you know? Well, maybe not always, but I feel like it's still fixable. Anywho... Emmanuel, apart from characters maybe getting a secondary element, do you think they'll also get a secondary weapon, or would be that too much to rig? I don't know about secondary weapon, but what I do think is, you see how we have these? We have a lot of space on the right-hand side over here, right? Like, we got a lot of space, okay? And something I want to bring some attention to is that these passives have levels. There is no reason for passives to have levels unless MiHoYo has future plans to be able to level these. I think we're actually going to get equipable skills. So, like, we'll be able to take lemnistatic wind cycling and swap it out for a different skill and a different burst and that kind of stuff. That's what I think we're going to be able to get. And I think that might come with element swapping. I think some of it might not. I don't necessarily think we'll get different weapons, though. I think some people might be able to get, like, a stance shift, though. Because they've done it with Child and they've done it with Raiden now. So I think they'll have an easier time doing it with other characters. So I think that's a possibility. I don't think weapons, though. Because, yeah, it's a lot of rigging. And they're going to have a lot of characters. Probably by the time this happens. But that's kind of my thought. And one of the reasons why I think that has to do with friggin' Mona over here. One thing that drives me crazy about Mona is that her illusory torrent is all the way up here. And it is not down here. Right? And for the longest time I was like, how come I can't level this? Because I thought this third one was her burst. And then I realized it was this one when I first got her. Because I didn't really read it. I was just like, it's number 3. It should be the burst, right? And it's not. It drives me crazy. But Ayaka actually has it in this position, too. And because they both have it in this position, it makes me wonder if they're going to do that. And they've been experimenting with 4 passives. Like, I think Kokomi has that 4th passive where she has a negative 100% crit, right? I think they'll be doing other things like that, too. So I think this section here has a lot of room for growth, in my opinion. So yeah. Timothy, do you think that the Scaramouche will be able to use Electro-Gnosis? Does he have to rule over Inazuma in some way to gain power? I'm not quite sure how the Gnosis work. Just stay tuned for the next video, because I don't think the Gnosis do what you think they do. And again, it's a theory, but I don't think they do what people think they do. Like, okay. I'll give you some logic as to why I say that. You think about, for a reason, like, why is the Saritsa trying to gather all the Gnosis, right? Is she just looking for power? If so, why is she looking for the power of gods that was gifted to them by the thing that they're supposed to be fighting against, which is Celestia, right? Like, why would you do that? It seems kind of silly, in my opinion. So I have to wonder if the Gnosis don't give you a different purpose, right? So if I were, say, hang on.
This is order.
If I were Zhongli, right? As you do, as most people are Zhongli. You cannot escape from my heat-seeking missiles. It's actually not that hard to escape from the heat-seeking missiles of Ningguang. They don't have that great a range. If I was Zhongli, and I really didn't agree with Celestia, right? I am the oldest of the gods right now. I'm over 6,000 years old. I predate Celestia. I predate everything, right? I had enough power that I defeated, like, a whole country's worth of gods on my own, right? I won. So why am I still afraid of this thing called Celestia, right? So what is Celestia? Why does it have power over us? And then what incentive does Zhongli have to give this so-called power that he's been given to the Tsaritsa? Why does she need all of them? Why can't he just agree to help her if he's willing to give her his gnosis, right? Because she didn't forcefully take it from him. He's like, you know what? You can have it, but I just want to make sure of one thing before I give it to you. So if he's already, like, at the point where he thinks it's worth giving it to her, like he can trust her with it, like she doesn't have to fight him for it or anything, why doesn't he just do it himself, right? There's a reason why the Tsaritsa needs all of the Gnosis together. And I don't think it's because she needs the power of the elements or whatever. Because I really think that we're going to find out through Albedo that having variance in elemental energy and elemental mastery shouldn't be something that's seen as rare. It should be something that's seen as common, and it's actually visions that are kind of like holding people back on that. That is part personal opinion. Based on other things that we've seen. But I think the Traveler is actually more representative of what we should be able to do than most vision wielders. I actually think that visions in some ways kind of work as shackles on the potential of people, which is part of where the plot, I think, is going. So the Gnosis would end up having to have some other purpose, because think about it. Zhongli has a lot of power without it. Venti has a lot of power without it. Raiden has a lot of power without it, right? Like, she cleaved a whole island of hers in two. So, if they have all this power, and they're just like, yeah, sure, here's my Gnosis, or I don't really need this. The only thing we know a Gnosis does is it kind of, like, enhances a power beyond the limit that you already have, but even then, it's like, by how much? Who knows? Probably not by that much, by the sounds of things. If you're willing to give it up that easily, why would it be, like, that big of a power boost, you know? Like, people don't just give up power boosts like that easily. Not just because they'd be power hungry themselves, but just because, like, you wouldn't want that kind of power to get into the hands of just anybody, right? That's a lot of trust involved, just kind of giving that kind of thing away. So the real question is, what did the Gnosis do? What was the purpose of the Archon War? Why did they have all the gods fight each other in order to gain control of these little tiny chess pieces? What do they do? What was the purpose of that? Why can we only have 7 gods? Right? There's a reason for all of it. And I think that the Gnosis don't do what most people think they do. I don't think that there's some sort of special power amplifier. I don't think there's some sort of, like, modified version of visions. I don't think they're anything like that. I think there's something a little bit more weird. Anyway, it's my rant. Oh man, it's one of these. Do I want to do this right now? I guess I could. Where am I going? Okay. 4. Where are the rest? Where are the rest? Where are the rest? Is this why I haven't done this one? Where are the rest? Oh, they're over here. So we go in a circle. Okay, we'll have to do this again, probably. There's one more, but I don't know where it is. Okay, we'll do it again. Now that I kind of know where I'm going. Whee! Wait, is it in the bush? It's in the bush! Okay. I see. And then it wants us to loop back around like an idiot. I got it. I got it. Whoop. Gotcha. I understand now. Whee! Monies!
There's quality here.
There is quality here. It's called 2 primo gems. 2 whole-ass primo gems. It's like 1%, less than 1% of a summon. It's like 1% of a summon. So yeah, I don't think Scaramouche can actually do anything with the Gnosis. I don't think it'll do a whole lot. It might give him a little bit of access to extra power, but I don't think that that'll really matter in the end. I don't think having the Gnosis necessarily makes you an Archon. I think you're an Archon because you've been entrusted with one, not because you own it. Does that make sense? Like, you've earned the right to call yourself an Archon, and therefore you are able to bear the responsibility of the Gnosis, rather than you have a Gnosis and therefore it makes you an Archon. I think that's more how it works. And I think that's part of what Scaramouche might find out. But I do wonder if Scaramouche actually knows more or less like what a Gnosis is and what it does. And I wonder if he wants to experiment with it before the Certza gets it. But just my 2 cents. Feels really a long 2 cents, I'm sorry. Asuto, so obviously parts of Celestia broke through Dragonspine and hit Inazuma. Do you think that they meant to do this? Or do you think that Celestia is falling apart? I think Celestia is dead. I think I've said this a few times. I don't think there's anyone in Celestia. Like, I don't think there's anyone left.
Stabilize.
I really don't think there's anyone left.
Your life is mine.
Oh, the other one's still alive. Not for long! Woo! Oh. Wait a minute. Where's its health bar?
Gather.
Is this immortal? Oh no, it's not. It just has an invisible health bar. That was scary. I don't want to fight an immortal sentinel. That sounds terrifying. Although I guess that Ruin Grader from the event is technically immortal if you don't do the things right. So that's a thing. I hate this mechanic. Just because, like, it's so awkward to, like, go into your menu and then hit another button to... I think it's silly. I think it's silly. I'm gonna wander aimlessly. Did I skip a super chat? Oh man, I'm sorry. Hang on. This is what happens when they're not on screen. Hang on. Did I? I don't see one. Oh, no, I did. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Music God. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for reminding me that it was there. Oh man, I did not see that. I'm so sorry. It says, my theory with Nintendo, imagine every story quest with each character gives you a constellation so that they're trying to make the most of the game free to play. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool, actually. So, like, would you think that they'd give you, like, 6 story quests for them? And then you'd get one free constellation every time you completed a story quest for them? Is that what you were thinking? So that'd be kind of neat. I wish they'd kind of do that with Aloy too. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. Did we even get Aloy's story quest?
Mora doesn't grow on trees.
Hang on. Now I want to look. Did we get Aloy's story quest? No, we didn't. We did not get Aloy's story quest. Or did I just miss the way to proc it? Maybe I did. That would be pretty cool to keep it free to play, though. If they did go with like a Link way, like a Link route for the whole Nintendo free character thing, and we got 6 story quests with him, I'd be pretty cool with that. Although he is a silent protagonist, so I don't know how they do that. Oh, maybe we get Zelda. She'll be the Catalyst character. That'd be cool. She can talk. And then she'd still be a waifu in Waifu Impact. Works out. Everybody's happy. No, they'll give us Princess Peach instead. That would be kind of funny. Not gonna lie, that would be super funny. That would be funny. Anyway, music art, I'm sorry, I really didn't see it. I wasn't looking. I went on a really long tangent and the thing expired before I saw it. I want to go somewhere else. Spinal Prison, what do you think would the Dendro Element's job be? Like, would it be a healer, support, or a DPS? I don't know necessarily that any of the elements have a job. I guess it's really like their reactions that have jobs. I think it'll be like a debuffing element overall, or a damage over time element. Although, I really hope that Dendro brings some amplifying reactions for like Electro. That would be really cool. I would love to see see some of those kinds of reactions come out, because Electro kind of needs it. So I think that would be spicy. Nope. Okay, I got a couple. I guess we'll get the beetles because we're here. Hi, beetles. Hi, beetles. Oh man, I am like way far back in the chat now too. Aloy's story quest is Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, yeah, that's not. Oh.
Solidify.
This isn't really a reaction-based team, guys.
Disappear.
EA for plunges, getting rid of shields. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he warped away. Well, that's not kind. That's not kind. Come back here. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, see, it's gonna happen again. Oh man, I didn't even see it. I need to pay better attention. I have magpie brain today. If you don't know what magpie brain is like where you can't focus, but not because like it's hard to focus because your brain is fuzzy, but because like it's hard to focus because you're like, ooh, shiny. Yeah, that. I have magpie brain today. Oh. I one-shot him and I didn't hit the thing. That was cool. That was cool. That was cool. I can be proud of myself for that. Yep. Oh, right. Sorry. I have a thing. I gotta read. Thank you, Sir Dario, for your super chat. I'm gonna be better about this. Yes, I am. If Inazuma's second weekly boss is unlocked by a story quest just like Andreas and Ajdaha, would Yai's inevitable story quest be a good candidate? Oh. I wasn't looking. I don't think it'll be Yai's story quest. I honestly think, I think the next boss is gonna be an Enkonomiya. I really do. I don't know where else it could be. I don't know or who else it could be. I just, like, there's nothing that really makes sense other than the Dragon Heir. Unless they want to do Scaramouche as the second boss, which they could do. I'm more prone to think that it's going to be the Dragon Heir because they've spent all this time setting up this, like, crazy underwater, like, deteriorated nation. And I think it'd be really, really neat to, like, follow through on. But, you know. I don't know. I honestly, this is not what I want, but I'm fairly convinced they're just going to give us another date with Yae and Miko when the time comes. And maybe, like, maybe for Yae and Miko we get, like, Raiden as, an optional fight. Like, Yae allows us to, challenge A to a duel whenever we want to. Oh, I missed. Come back here. I'm just, I don't have enough confidence in MiHoYo that they won't do that. That's the problem, right? I would love for Yae's quest to actually, like, have something really neat and interesting about how it goes down, like an interesting boss, or like maybe they could do something like Havria where we get to see something revolving Kitsune Saigyu. That would be ideal, but I don't foresee, like, even if they go that route with Kitsune Saigyu, who I think is the most likely candidate for them to explore, I don't think it'll be one of those situations where she becomes a boss, you know? And so that's why I'm like, I don't know that they'll go that route. Give. Mine. Haha. All the shinies are mine. All the shinies are minies. Oh, I didn't know Razor's E skill could break all of the ores. Obviously I knew Zhongli would. I've been using him all night, but I have a level 20 Razor, and that's the extent of my Razor. I've never used Razor extensively or at all. So, yep. Didn't know that. Yep. Poor Razor. He just didn't appeal to me in early game, and I never invested in him. So, rip. What was your biggest crit and with who on the Wonders of the World page? Oh, I don't know. That thing takes forever to find. I don't even know where it is. I'm not really a big achievement hunter. Part of my problem is that most of my damage on the characters that I have is, like, damage over time. Yeah, see, 174, I guess, is my highest. I don't even know who that would be with. I'm not a big numbers person. If you look at all my built characters, none of my characters are, like, big haha numbers. They're all like Kaya, right? And Kaya has really good damage over time. Like, I can have his burst do 16,000, 20,000 per hit, you know? And that's great, but it's like per tick, right? And when you go per tick, it doesn't really count towards, you know, big damage. So, I have Hu Tao now, so I guess I can do big damage. I just haven't. We can go higher than 50. I got 69 on him the other day. On Frostgnaw. What? Yeah, I don't have any big number characters. So, I guess 174 is my highest. I usually, like, my highest is usually Zhongli. He's, like, my biggest big number character in Abyss. He's usually hitting for 150,000. With Abyss buffs and stuff, so I guess that would be who it's most likely on. Unless I had some sort of bizarre reaction. Which I can't imagine who that would be on. Speaking of, though, I was just reminded. I wanted to finish. Did I want to finish this one? Or do I want to do this one? I guess we'll just try and finish this one. Let's see how this will roll. I'm building a Lava Walker set for memes. I want to try something. And I just happen to have decent pieces laying around, so I thought I'd level them. This is just going to take a while, because we're using 1-star gear. I wish they'd let us put more than just 5 at a time. This is so unnecessary. Oh, I am out of them. Okay, well, I guess we can't see how this rolls. That's all I had for 1-star gear. Never mind. Everything else is savable.
Another test.
Gives. Yay! Presents. Yep. And how do you make it interesting and worth using if it doesn't have reactions that are worthwhile? Wait, what are you talking about? Hope Workout, do you think they will mention the true identity of the omnipresent god statue soon, or do you think they will mention it in very late storytelling of Teyvat? Okay, listen. I have made my stance on the omnipresent god statue very, very clear, but let's go through it again. Since maybe some of you have not noticed this. Okay, first off, this statue has not, like, we know a few things about this statue, okay? The first is that this statue has nothing to do with the Raiden Shogun. Like, actually, legitimately nothing to do with her. If you remember from the plot, this whole thing was set up and orchestrated by the Fatui, which means that this thing had more value as fodder for the Fatui than it did for anything Raiden was doing. So right now, this is just a statue, right? However, notice the base of this statue down here, okay? You see these cracks and everything? If this statue was carved here, which it would have to have been, if they were going to build the omnipresent god statue as like part of a tribute to Shogun or whatever, it would not have this kind of base, okay? It would not. It would not have this crumbly, cracked, ancient-looking base. And plus, just compare these two types of stones. The stone on the left over here, that is the stone that you find all over Inazuma. This stone over here is not from the majority of the giant rocks in Inazuma. There are some small rocks in Inazuma that look like this, but no big ones. You know what this stone looks like? These stones are the same type of stone that you see on like the ruins in Surumi Island. In the underground. That would make this statue really, really, really old. And it would also mean that this statue has been moved here from somewhere else. And likely the Fatui brought it here from somewhere else. Which means that this whole thing was probably on the top of a really tall tower or a pillar. And if you look at the top of this tower, and keep that in mind, and then we're gonna go here. I don't know why, but it tends to remind me a little bit of the statues of Seven. And of the pillars in the very beginning of the screen. I know these are all glowy and everything, and that's okay. But it reminds me of them. Mostly because of the silver stone. And the bases and things like that. And the fact that they are these pillars with godly figures on top. Okay? So I think somewhere in the world, there are matching omnipresent god statues. Somewhere else. And we're gonna find them one day. And that's when we'll figure out what they're for. And where they are. And all that kind of stuff. And that's my prediction. Yeah, I mean, Skyfrost Nail, too. I mean, you're not wrong. I'm gonna go over there. Like, there's something super weird about the statue, like, in general. No, the statue in Mondstadt was actually created in Mondstadt. Like, that's the difference. It was created, after Venti freed everybody from Dick Arabian. Are we going up to Skyfrost Nail? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know, do we feel like going up to Skyfrost Nail? I mean, we could. It's just that, like, it just has that, oh, hang on. It just has that vibe, you know? Like, it's made out of this kind of stone.
What's the hurry?
It's this kind of crumbly. It's this kind of aging, you know? Like, it's just way too coincidental. It has to be from some place
What's wrong?
like
Can't
this.
handle the cold.
But obviously not this place. Obviously. But that's the whole thing. So it's not Yai Miko, it's not Makoto, it's not anyone we've seen before, except it might, maybe, possibly be the Welkin Moon. Because they look a lot alike. Anyway. If you don't know my opinion on that, I know there's a video of mine that you haven't watched. Which isn't inherently a bad thing. It means you have better things to do with your life than watch videos, which is good. Because it means that you know, you have good things going on. Watching videos is excellent entertainment. But it's always good to have some stuff on the back burner that you can watch when you're really bored. You know? Don't be like me and run out of things to watch. And then have to go on rabbit holes. Like, look at this place, right? Like, look at this place. Like, there's this whole section here that's, like, totally crumbled and should be a staircase. But it's the right size for it to, like, fit something like it's the statue that's in Inazuma. Oh my god. I hate climbing this mountain. There's an easier way to do this, I'm sure, but I've never done it the easy way, and I don't plan to start now. Like, look, this place. This, with the type of, peaky structures that it has, the little pillars on the outside on this round outer lip, that's a lot closer to the omnipresent god statue than anything you see anywhere in Inazuma. And that's just a fact. Although Skyfrost Nail doesn't really bear any strong resemblance to it, but it is missing its top. We don't know what was on top of it. So, yep. Yep, yep. Yep. You know, now that I look at this thing, this symbol right here is also present on Dane's Leaf, which is really suspicious and super weird, now that I think about it. See, it's all crumbly. All crumbly. And obviously it doesn't have the blue little quartz stuff, but like, it's just similar stone, okay? It could possibly have come from something like this, but not this exactly, but something like it. Anyway, it bothers me. Oh, you're thinking of a different symbol than I am for Dane's Leaf. Yeah, his symbol is similar to Paimon's, but it's actually more similar to the Sustainer of Heavenly Principles than Paimon's. But I was actually thinking about the, if you look at this, you'll see this, like, heart shape, right? Dane's Leaf actually has this heart shape on his outfit. And it's in blue, and it's, like, glowing on his shoulder, I think. You can look for it the next time you take a look at him. You'll see what I mean pretty quick. But yeah, that always reminds me of that. You know what's really weird is that it's possible, like, look at this mountain. This is a hollow mountain. There are like 5 hollow mountains on the map so far. And that bothers the crap out of me. Mountains should not be hollow. Mountains are not hollow. So why are all the mountains in Genshin hollow? I don't get it. I mean, I don't know. I guess every mountain might have been a volcano or you know, the result of something volcanic at one point. But, like, I don't know that they are all volcanic. Anyway. I'm starting to freeze. Oh, I don't want to fight him. I don't feel like it. I also have no incentive to. I have 0 reason to do that. No, I mean, I get that they can put more... Okay. Let me show you why it's weird. You see this? Over here? You see this spiral abyss? Okay. You see this empty space here? You see it? You see it? You see this elevated area around us? You realize that this was a mountain and one of the tallest mountains in the world? Which means that this mountain was, in fact, hollow? Or at least mostly hollow? And that in this hollow mountain is an entrance to a tower that goes to the sky? Riddle me that! Isn't that weird? You know what else is weird? God, this takes so long. I'm trying to make a point and it's like it's taking forever to get there. Okay, listen. I'll show you something else that's really weird. Look at this mountain, okay? Do you see that? You see that right there? Do you see how it's curved on the inside? That's not the sign of a mountain that had like something carved out of it. That's the sign of a mountain that was like built into that shape, right? Because like if someone was going to hollow out a mountain, you don't start from the top, you start from the bottom. even if you did start from the top, like, you have to keep the walls at a certain way to, like, maintain structural integrity while you mine things. Right?
Time to go.
So, like, this mountain is just hollow. It's almost like it's a stone tower and not a mountain at all. Oh my god. I'm having some technical difficulties. Oh, hi. And on top of that, on top of all that, listen, on top of all of that, I'm gonna show you something else that's weird. But it requires some climbing, and then I'm probably gonna log off. This is gonna take a while. This might take a minute. Man, I love these long pauses between thoughts, don't you? So helpful. So useful. Thanks, MiHoYo, for making this so tedious to climb. This is gonna take a while. I'm trying to see if there... Oh, yeah. No, wait. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, you see this? You see this? You see this hole? You see this hole? It's almost like it's a doorway. And then if you look up, there's more spaces that look like they were intentionally carved. Like, a lot of these blocks don't necessarily look like they were naturally formed. They look like they were put there. Like, they were moved by someone like Zhang Li, who was making, like, a big earthen cave structure. But built from... Kaya, what are you doing? Like, okay. Nope, nope. Oh my god, I lost all my height. Lost all my height. Okay, listen. See, like, you have these little slits in these doors, right? But it's weird that there's just enough space where these doors are. Like, they're not just holes. All of them are, like, pretty intentional of, like, where they are. And I'm just like, what if this isn't a mountain? What if it's a tower? Because look, if you look down, it's, like, way too cylindrical. And there's a giant tree inside. What if you were just building, like, a giant house for this tree? Right? Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Because, like, this stone right here is already thousands of years old. A couple thousand years old. Which means that this tree is older than this civilization, okay? This, like, half-dead tree that we somewhat revived. But look how massive this tree is. It's almost the size of this mountain. For a tree to get to the size of a mountain is ridiculous. Like, that would take, like, millions of years for it to get to. So picture a tree that grows for millions of years, and then someone wants to protect it, so they build this, like, monolithic structure around it, right? Think about that. And now think about all the other hollow mountains we've seen and what's inside of them. In Solvindignir, there's an entire city which had a giant silver tree, but the silver tree was at the base of the city, but whatever. And then Pylos Peak, which is now Musk Reef, has the spiral abyss in it. Right? And there's more hollow mountains around just Surumi Island in general with smaller trees in them, and they are therefore smaller mountains. I think that's super weird. I think that's super, super, super weird. Anyway. That's all I got. That's all I have. Yeah, they're not mountains, they're flower pots. That's a good way to put it. This is God's garden. It's the Garden of Eden. Teyvat is Eden, man. Oh, that worked. I didn't think it was going to. I thought I was going to kill it. Whatever, that's cool. Plot twist. Anyway, I think that's all I have brain juice for tonight. I'm also out of things to collect. And my pings aren't really good enough to do dungeons, although I could try. I could try to do some domains. But I don't think my ping is really good enough for them. Because whenever there's a bunch of stuff around, my ping shoots up to like 600 and then it's awkward. And I'm on a delay. And that sucks. Anywho, I know you guys probably have a lot more questions and fun things to go through. I promise I'm trying to make my streams a little bit more frequent. Because I think like right now I do them like once a month. Twice if I'm really lucky. I just like hovering in the air for dramatic effect, in case anyone's wondering. I think it's fun. Yeah, I'm trying to make them slightly more common. Just in general. Just so that more people can have the opportunity to come. So that we can maybe talk about a wider variety of things, keep things interesting. I don't know that I talked a whole lot about the stream today. I'm really excited for Itto. I'm really excited to finally get my hands on an Albedo. I'm probably going to blow most of my stash knowing my luck, which kind of sucks, but that's okay. Because I think Scaramouche is a long way off yet, and at this point I don't think we're going to see him again until, like... We're either going to see him when Itto shows up, or we're going to see him in Sumeru. That's my prediction. He's just going to become a running joke at one point, where he's just, like, going to meet us in every nation, and then say, "So long, sucker!" That'd be kind of funny. Although I really wish they'd wrap up his story, like, while we're still in Inazuma. Would be ideal, but either way, he's still a ways off, so I think I'll probably blow a good chunk of my stash on Itto and Albedo. I've literally never won the 50-50 ever, except on characters that I don't want. So I won it on Hu Tao and I won it on Klee. I don't mind having Klee. I don't use her, but I don't mind her because I do think she's adorable. But Hu Tao is one of those ones where I'm just like, really? Because I didn't really want her and I don't know that I'm really going to use her. I don't hate her, I just didn't really have a use for her. You know? And she's not that high on my list of favorite Pyro characters. So... I mean, she's fine. I just, like, you know, I prefer Yanfei, that's all. Yep. So, I'll probably have to go to Pity twice. I will stream those polls, though. So, 2.3 will probably have a couple of streams where we summon for Itto, and maybe we go farm for his materials, and same for Albedo. So, yeah. Yeah. I think so, I think so, I think so. Alright, well, I'm gonna log off. Thank y'alls for showing up. Thanks for participating. Thanks for, you know, keeping me company and listening to me ramble, and my dogs have abandoned me. So I think I should give them some attention. Okay, I have to get this on my chest. He has the catch because it's my only built energy recharge weapon, and it doesn't... I don't have anyone else to put it on right now, so that's why he has the catch, okay? He doesn't have the catch because I'm trying to, like, force damage out of him. I'm not. I don't... It's not possible. I've tried.
I did spend a lot recently. Only 10 more left.
It's not worth it.
10 more is better than no more.
You can put him on a Bennett team, like I have here, and, like, try to beef him up with Bennett, and legit, Bennett does more damage than Toma does, with less investment, and it's just really pathetic, so it's just not worth it. Anyway, I had to get that off my chest. Okay, I'm gonna run, I'm gonna vamoose, skedaddle, vaminos, probably saying all of the wrong words, because I just like words that sound funny in multiple languages. Which means other people who know those languages can then laugh at me, which is a great icebreaker. So, you know. Good stuff. Alright, thanks for coming, guys. I will let you know when the next one is. World Structure Theory is next. And I posted the theory schedule for like the next 3 videos, I think, on the community tab, if you're interested, so you can take a look at that. But in any case, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for coming out. Take care, guys.